time after time, and they never get to actualize these things. Politicians will, ANC, how are you going to prevent the Electoral Commission from doing its work if the people decide to vote for the NDC, the CPP, the PMP? PMP is no longer in the CPP, PPP, whichever party. If the people decide to vote for them, NCDA, you would stop them because of what? And you come to the table as a man with a certain history of Ayawaso West Wogon. You come to the table with that history. Very, very bad and nasty history. People died. People were maimed. A member of parliament was slapped. You come to that table with hooligans being given guns. M16, G3, AK-47s to go out there. You come to the table wearing balaclava. You come to the table with that history. And it's not good on you. You went through a commission. We all know what happened. The government wrote a white paper, never implemented a single thing from that. So it was a waste of all our time, like the Jura matter. So you come to the table with a certain bad history. Why he was emboldened to make those comments, I'm still trying to understand. God is a cabinet minister.
That's right.
He sits with the president every single Thursday. Tomorrow is Thursday. Cabinet will hold. He will sit in that meeting. So exactly what is he talking about? Why? William.
Okay, so according to the Food and Agriculture Organization Ghana office, about 52% of the labor force is engaged in agriculture in Ghana. 29% in services, 19% in industry, approximately 39% of farm labor force is women. Agri contributes 54% of Ghana's GDP and accounts for over 40% of export earnings, while at the same time providing over 90% of the food needs of the country. And Bryan Acheampong is in charge of the Agric Ministry.
Yeah.
So he has 52% of Ghana's workforce looking up to him to give direction.
Yeah.
We are looking up to him to make sure that the 90% of the food needs of this country is sustained under his watch. And so for me, for the past 5 days, I wouldn't think that we should be spending time to discuss some of the things that he has said, which is not necessary. And that's the saddest point that I want to make this morning. From Friday,
Saturday, Thursday,
Friday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday,
Wednesday morning.
I mean, why would a country that is struggling to raise 3 billion cedis be talking about somebody who should be sleeping, dreaming, thinking, creating, and doing everything about the 42% of the labor force in this country, leading us into a path like this? That's the problem of Africa. Young man, I mean, Bryan is not that old.
He should have known better.
He's a young man, very creative individual. I haven't met him, but I've read about him. I know what he has done up the range in Peru. Excellent.
The Rock City.
So it's a sad one for me. I wouldn't come and repeat what he has said because we've had too many of these things happening, and they go to appointment committees when they are vetted and said it's political talk. Political talk, that's one. But it's not every brain, every mind that is discernible enough to break down this thing as just political talks. There are some people who are not that solid in their thinking, who will go with the flow when people like Bryan speak because of a certain 1 CD or 2 CDs that they get from him or the party that they follow. So, I mean, the Peace Council has spoken, and I'm expecting that all the politicians will listen. That Africa, and for that matter, Ghana, is not there yet for us to be wasting time. And we are not spending
and
time
talking about these things.
Wasting time. 5 days of, I mean, look at the airtime. If you come to MG and you are going to book for 5 minutes of airtime, look at how much it costs. And this is the whole Ghana media
talking about
airtime put together. Look at the amount of money we are losing from
William,
Thursday to Friday discussing this.
William, do you think that if he had been because you see,
that's how I want to look at
his political party literally have backed him, and they say that whatever the NDC said lacks contextual content. So this is the whole political party backing him. He has not shown remorse. The security institutions are not acting. Peace Council is talking. That's the best they can do. But we clearly, like William mentioned, we have people who will listen to Bryan Acheampong, who are not too solid in their thinking, who would just say, Charlie, NC da, embasso. So whatever they can do to make sure that even if the people vote and they decide that they don't want the MPP anymore, they want PPP, NDC, CPP, whatever it is, because Bryan Acheampong has told us that NC da, we will ensure that it doesn't happen. There are people like that.
That's
extremists who are like that. And that's where the problem is. That's why I was expecting that his boss, the president, should have reined him in. Should have told him, one can say, I don't know if he's done that, but somebody in the party should rein him in. But when you have the whole party hierarchy writing a press release to say, well, whatever the opposition is saying, whatever everybody else is saying, it doesn't matter. It lacks contextual content. There's a problem. That the party tacitly supports what he said, no matter how irresponsible it sounds. The party supports it. That's the pain.
He still hasn't been picked up by, like you said, any security service. The police don't seem to have an interest in that, unless, of course, they're working behind the scenes, and by the close of business today, we're going to hear that Bryan Acheampong has been picked up.
If you and I said this, or William says this, I'm sure by 11 a.m. when we close this show, they will find us.
You see,
even before we finish,
they will find us.
The danger in what he said, I've been trying to analyze it. If you are making a statement and whatever you are talking about is in your hands, totally in your hands, and you say insida, you have total control. I'm going to write an exam, getting F, insida. Everything that is going to happen in terms of not getting F is in my hands.
Right.
But we are going into an election. The results of that election
is not yours
in your
to
hands.
call.
It is in the hands of the Ghanaian people. And it is like the cockroach. When it dies, it will either fall on the face or the back. It will never fall on the side. So you go in and do your best. So when you make such statements about an outcome like that, it is problematic, because then we also have a history of how people have said so and done things that are against the law to get into power. That's a fact. The last election, 8 people have died. I mean, blood. People have died.
Yeah.
Nothing has happened.
Al Jazeera, BBC, CNN, everybody reporting.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, if that is not an issue, and we are going into an election and you make such a... Somebody will say, oh, ain't see that because we are going to ensure that we win. But I'm saying that the kind of thing we are talking about is not in your hands.
Yeah. But you know...
At all costs, it's when you have total control of the situation. Look, at all costs, I'll make it. I'll come there.
Yeah.
At all costs, I'll marry you. At all costs, I'll buy you a car. You know what you are talking about. But this is an election. No matter what your preparations are, no matter what groundwork you do, politics is like that. So you don't make such categorical statement with such vim. And public speaking, he's a very good public speaker, because when you speak publicly, you need that passion, that energy to make your people attend to you. You got it right. But the statement was wrong. She retract. The attempt by the MPP to justify it, it is neither here nor there.
Yeah.
It is just a pipe dream. It will not fly, because we are not going to buy it. I'm saying that agric is so important. Look, if we had taken our agriculture so seriously, we wouldn't be going to IMF, because we know that our debt is part of the pressure on our city. Our debt is part of the spending we have done, which is wrong. So I'm saying that
William, there's the Acheampong regime's experience to talk about.
You know,
he went to the US, saw the wheat farms, came back and says, "Oh, we can do this."
Yeah.
You know, let's go on the phone line and speak with the head of the legal committee of the National Democratic Congress, lawyer Abraham Amalba. Good morning. Thank you very much for your time, counsel.
Good morning, and good morning to your listeners.
Great. You have said that the police must pick up Bryan Acheampong for investigation, and you had a petition to present. Tell us, has the petition been received by the police hierarchy?
Yes, so yesterday we were at the CID headquarters. We presented the petition to the CID boss, who promised to look into the matter, but we needed to copy the IGP, who is the head of the police institution. We sought to have audience with him. We saw him at the car park. They told us to go through the processes from getting tax, visitors tax. So we're referred to go back to the outer, not the IGP's reception, but the outer reception for the whole administration. When we got there, they placed a call, and we're told that he was not on his seat, but we saw him. I even pointed at him. He sent officers. One of the officers was my mate at the law school, to talk to me and to tell me that we should go to the outer reception. So when we couldn't find him, when we couldn't get access, we just left the petition at the reception. So that's what happened.
So you don't know exactly who received the petition on...
No, we left it with the secretary. There's a secretary at the desk there who promised to forward it to him.
What was the detail of the petition? Share with us.
Arrest, investigate, prosecute Bryan Acheampong for the comments he made during the Easter break, which comments have the potential of destabilizing this country as well as leading to civil unrest. So those were the comments. And we attached a video, an audio and a video of his comments, such that if the police, myself, if they haven't seen it, this is an opportunity for them to see it. In any case, we expected that yesterday was like the 5 days since those comments were made. We're expecting that the police, swift as they are always, in certain cases, they would have invited Bryan Acheampong. But once that didn't happen, we felt the need that probably they were looking for a known face to be a complainant. And that's the basis upon which we filed the petition.
Why is this so important to the NDC?
The NDC gave birth to this fourth republic. We've all enjoyed it. It's the longest republic ever. All the other republics were truncated by military regimes. We have a duty. We are a stakeholder. We are a duty to protect this democracy. And so you as the media also have a duty to protect this democracy. So when you find, excuse my words, a lunatic trying to destabilize the democracy, we all have to rally around to protect our democracy.
And you think that the police will yield to your petition?
Let them not do it, and then we will now know that the law is only applicable to NDC people. The law doesn't apply to NPP people who break the law. Don't forget that a youth organizer in Swami, in Kumasi, the NDC youth organizer, made comments that were interpreted by the police to be comments conducive to the breach of the peace. They've arraigned him before court. He's attending court as we speak. I don't know why, if it is somebody in the government, they can't do the same. So, particularly where we are dealing with a man who has a history. This is a man who commandeered and deployed hoodlums, tax to maim people in Ayahuasca West Wagon. If such a person makes such unsavory comments, you don't let it lie.
And again, the question on the minds of many Ghanaians is that the New Patriotic Party itself has written a statement to suggest that your criticism of the comment made by Mr. Bryan Acheampong lacks context. What do you say to that?
Putting English together and thinking that people will be swayed. What is lack of context? The man said what he said in open air to the whole public. The whole world heard him. So what is the context? The context should be that Bryan Acheampong has said this. We should go to sleep because Bryan Acheampong has no capacity to carry out what he said. I've just demonstrated to you that is a man who has more than capacity to put his words into action. You cannot, haven't known the background of this person, say that if these comments were coming from anybody from the MPP, why? Lord Comey made similar comments. We just brush it aside. Now, he has a history, and I don't think that we should allow him to go without being checked. So I don't know the context in which they want us to look at it. No context would justify he saying that we will never, ever hand over power to the NDC, even if the NDC goes ahead to win the elections. There's no way they will give power to NDC. What does that mean? It means destabilizing the will of the people. Some say subverting the will of the people. And the will of the people is guaranteed by the Constitution. So what he's doing is also an affront to the Constitution.
But then some would say that, look, Bryan Acheampong is not part of the Electoral Commission. He doesn't count the votes that are put together by the people of Ghana in any election. So he's just blowing hot air. What do you say?
Hot air. If you look at our neighboring countries, Ivory Coast, it was similar comments that led to the slaughtering of people in Ivory Coast. Similar comments have led to distraction in other countries using the media. And so what we are actually doing should be commended. And to say that at least we have some people who are proactive as trying to avert a situation like what has happened in a neighboring country. So we don't have to wait till this country blows up before we begin to do the needful.
And so how soon would you want the police to act on the petition that you presented to them?
I have said that we don't intend to show the police or teach the police how to do their work. They are professionals. So we are going to give them a reasonable time period. There's this principle of a reasonable time. Within that reasonable time, if we see that there's no action, we'll make a follow-up. We'll have audience with the CID boss again and find out from her what has happened to our petition. We want to know the outcome of our people. We have every right to find out whether they are not interested, and if they are interested, what have they done so far? We will make a follow-up.
Do you think the police is trying to avoid you?
Indeed, the IGP avoided us, and I want to believe that he's avoiding our faces, but not our documents. So the document is still there. It is for him to show impartiality. It is for him to show that even if the person who is trying to breach the peace of this country is an MPP person, that person is under the law. It is for him to show an even hand. And this is a test of his credibility as an IGP.
Well, hold on for me. Let's go on to the other line and speak with the Director of Communications for the New Patriotic Party, Richard Acheampong. Tobigan, where's all?
Yo, my brother.
So your party has written a statement supporting, if you like, or saying that Bryan Acheampong's statements were taken out of context by the NDC. Lawyer Abraham Amaleba is on the other line. He disagrees and he said that's just putting English together to represent something. What do you say?
Okay.
Do you still stick with what the party wrote in support of Mr. Bryan Acheampong?
Well, thank you very much, Johnny. Good morning to your listeners and to my brother Malaba. I didn't even know he was still in the country. I haven't seen or heard from him in a bit. I don't know what he's talking about. There is cause and effect. The cause is the NDC, their chairman and their flag bearer. The effect is the response that came to let them know that there are other men in town. They are not the only men in town. I'm not sure where the confusion is for them to want to petition an investigation. In any case, that petition that he sent will lead back to him. We ourselves are finalizing our own petition to the same quarters to say that they should have a comprehensive look at the matter and determine cause and effect and have the appropriate action be taken. So it's not a time now to be bantering back and forth. Since they have decided to lodge the complaint out there, we would add ours, and then the matter will be decided by those who are competent to do so.
What will be
anything I've heard from him now, trying to guilt trip the IGP, this person, and all of that, is not the substance of the matter. The substance is that there's a cause, there's effect. Now let's look at where the blame will fall.
Do you honestly think that the petition that the NDC sent to the IGP will yield any results?
I'm saying that if they call for investigation, isn't that the case?
Arrest, investigate, and prosecute.
Very well. I'm sure that you have to have an investigation before you arrest. You have to understand what you're arresting the person for. There is no cause. There is no probable cause in what the minister has said, in my view. But then the conversation in context as a response. And if, Johnny, I was listening to your bite this morning. A conditional statement made. A conditional statement. If clause. A conditional statement made, and people are running around saying that that conditional statement is effectively a command or a strategy. I don't know what they are talking about. So yes, they have lodged a complaint. We are equally ready. We're finalizing our document. I guarantee you, by afternoon today, we'll submit our own petition to the CID. And then we'll take it from there and see where the chips will fall.
Is the NPP as equally worried like many Ghanaians? We have an MPP known fanatic within the quarters of the Electoral Commission. The Electoral Commission itself is presenting a CI to suggest that Ghana card ICT issues will come in there. This person who has been put in, Dr. Acheampong, is an ICT known person. Bryan Acheampong has made this statement. The president said, I will hand over to an MPP person when I'm leaving. Lord Comey, director of operations of the presidency, has said, we will hold on to the power because we have it. No talk for space for breaking the eight, no sloganeering. We will hold on to the power. Ghanaians are worried. Is the MPP equally worried like Ghanaians?
Do you remember any slogans from the NDC 2016 election?
Share with me.
They were in power. They wanted to continue in power. So they campaigned wanting to continue to rule Ghana, even into a third term. That is the aspiration and purpose of every political party, to win and carry on in power to deliver their vision of development for the country. So that is a given. So the president says he wants to hand over to an MPP government when he walks off the stage. That is the aspiration of political party. Lord Comey says so. It is the aspiration of our political party. We're setting up to go to an election not to lose, but to win. And so I don't understand where this rationalization is coming from. What Honorable Bryan said is in the context of the fact that we are going to win the elections. We are making sure the economy comes back. Johnny, you were not doing Johnny's Bite in 2019, were you?
I was speaking my mind in 2019, if in fact.
But you were not doing Johnny's Bite in 2019.
Yes, but I was speaking my mind.
You were not doing Johnny's Bite in 2018. You were not doing Johnny's Bite in 2017.
But I was speaking my mind. I was speaking my mind.
So things change. That's okay, but you were not doing Johnny's Bite. Now, in 2020, 2021, things turned around for the worse for our country. And the reason being COVID-19 and Russia-Ukraine war. We are working on it. And so on that stage the last time, Honorable Bryan said that the economy is coming back. Our cedi that was losing grounds quickly against the dollar is regaining its balance. The fuel prices that is skyrocketed is stabilizing, is coming down, it's calmed down tremendously, should come down more, I hope. But with all these things happening, and by June, hopefully, if the IMF comes in to support the government with the fund support that we're seeking, if those things come together, the MPP will do everything possible to win power in 2024 and hand over to itself, in which case it will not hand over power to the NDC. Very straightforward matter. I don't understand the confusion of the NDC. I don't understand why they pull Amaliba from the shadows to come out to write this petition, but it's fine. It's part of the process. Let them engage it. We will engage the process.
Richard,
before you come in, Johnny,
right,
Johnny, before you come in, let me text for you who we are. We are the party. When all the guns were pointing at us, when the NDC, their antecedent pre-NDC, was in power, had all the guns pointing at us, we went bare hands to say that democracy now in this country, this fourth republic, if there was ever a time to say we'll be do or die, or it will be boot for boot, we'll sacrifice life, that was the time when the NDC had control of the guns. We fought bare hands to bring democracy. We are not the ones to subvert democracy. We are the vanguards of democracy. So all the shenanigans they are doing, the machination, trying to emotionally guilt trip people and create an appearance that the MPP is up for violence, we do not have violence in our DNA. They are the ones claiming that they have a revolutionary route, asserting that they are violent. Effectively, the former president's comment asserts that the NDC is a violent party. We are no such party. We believe in democracy, we're Democrats, and we're going to go the way of democracy. But in the current circumstance, we are quite happy that they've gone to the IGP, or the CID. We'll go there with our own claim and have it investigated. There's no need to drag this issue too much. Let's have the institutions that are close with the power to deal with the matter, and we are quite ready to do that.
What would be the nature of your petition to the police? The NDC says arrest, prosecute. What would be the detail of yours?
We would make the same claim, citing evidence that is available, evidence that they have, evidence that the public has, to make sure that the investigators have a full balance of the facts that they need to assess to arrive at any decision they will arrive at.
Amalba, you heard Richard Acheampong. He says you're just literally going on and on and on about nothing. What do you say?
Well, what is this arrogance about? Where was I? Am I in this country? Should I get up every morning and come and report myself to? What nonsense is that? You see?
Oh.
The point is this: they simply do not understand the point that you made. The combined effect of those talks, President, Lord Comey, who else, and today, that is what we call combined effect, together with the appointment of a known MPP card-bearer member. So he simply don't understand what we mean by combined effect. Why? You are in this country. You know the police just 2 or 3 weeks ago picked up an NDC youth organizer and he's in court for similar comments. And what you could say is that, what he meant was that prices are coming down. And so because prices are coming down, petrol is coming down. Couldn't he have ended there? Couldn't he have ended there and still make his point? The man has overshot. Be bold enough to say that, yes, he says good things for the party, but he has overshot. We condemn him for that. But you want to justify everything, and now look at what they are doing. That they are going to rake old statements. That's their modus operandi, to muddy the waters, to obfuscate the issues, to make it look like it's a non-issue. At the end of the day, we can't move forward, we can't move back. And that's why this country has sunk so low, because you would take a step to bring about improvement, then these people in government who should have known that they have a higher stake because they are in government, will lower the bar and say that, okay, we are going to bring other comments. So should we also go and bring comments such as or die be die? I thought the police, in its own wisdom, drew a red line and said that you dare not cross the line again. We've had enough. Henceforth, those comments would be dealt with without fear or favor. We did our petition in pursuant of this. But to muddy the waters and make Ghanaians confused about the issues, and we will not move forward, but will be static, they say they are going to send a petition. They should go. But
what do you have against a counter petition? It's democratic, isn't it?
Why now? Those comments were made some time ago. Didn't they have the presence of mind to know that those comments were criminal, as they are alleging? Must it take the NDC to do the needful, to wake them up from their slumber? It tells you their mindset. It tells you these are people who are not ready to deal with the challenges of this country. But I'm saying that if we have found ourselves in this situation, this government must know that it has a higher responsibility. By now, I expect the president to be talking and to dismiss these issues. You remember, when Professor Mills, the late Professor Mills was president, and our late former chairman said there are different ways of killing a country, he was out of the country. Immediately he came, he refused it. That's what a responsible president does. What did he tell the journalist? Look at my face. Do I look like a cat? Didn't that matter die a natural death? You have a president who simply does not care about the unity of this country. Such things have happened 5 days today. Police has not invited a man. We expect the Jubilee House to at least issue a statement which is reconciliatory. Have they done it? It's terrible living under this administration. I have gone quiet, if you want to know, because I simply know that this administration will not bring about the desired development that I want. That's why I've gone quiet. But this one, I couldn't hold it back because I have my kids. And I don't think that I'm ready to be holding my bed sheet and my mat crossing another country, this country to another country. That's why I woke up.
If you don't hear from the police in the next 24, 48 hours, what will be the next line of action?
No, 24, 48 hours is, in my estimation, too short. We are going to give this a principle in law, a reasonable time period. We are going to give the police ample time for them to deal with the matter. If they fail,
and ample time will be what, 1 week, 2 weeks?
Ample time, in my estimation, is 3 to 4 weeks, 1 month. Just give them. You see, you give a dog a long rope, and what do you say for him to hang himself? I've seen that the fact that the IG even refused to meet us is an indication that they are likely not to do anything about it. But you don't stampede them. Give them ample time so that when I come next time on your radio and I'm talking, you will not say, no, but the Abraham, but the is very short. Why? So that when I'm talking, you will say, oh, Abraham, you actually did well. You have given them enough time. And the pressure will be on them. So we'll give them ample time. We'll make a follow-up. We'll go and sit with the CID boss and find out what has happened to our petition. You will hear from us.
Richard, let's hear your closing thoughts on this matter.
Well, Johnny, I'm shocked that Amaliba has lost every capacity to take a joke. But that's fine. The issue is very clear. He's saying that why didn't we act earlier? And I'm telling him that there is such time as he just established to give them, the NDC, a long rope to commit themselves, and they have effectively committed.
You see the matters of the water again? You see their nature, their way of talking.
When you were talking, Amaliba. I was quiet.
I'm just pointing out the nature of your party.
Be a gentleman, Amaliba. Be a gentleman. Look, Johnny, when the former president, he was given occasion in a studio to retract what he said. He said, no. That's a determination to proceed in a certain direction. That time has come. And that response that was given, it was effectively at the failure to retract that matter. And we wanted to serve notice that they rather nip it in the bud or other people
what do you
have
do
the
about
capacity.
That?
And then, Johnny, here is why it's important. Here's why it's important. I just told you a brief of our history as a political party. At every turn, the NDC uses violence and threat of violence to intimidate us. That's why I was telling you that at the outset of this Fourth Republic, the guns were pointing at us. But we resisted, and we fought, and we had the Fourth Republic. So they've always taken us for people they can threaten. They've always taken the MPP as a group of people when they say violence is coming, we'll koto. But an occasion has come. We are at a certain critical level for our republic to say that we must make this republic endure. This Fourth Republic must endure. And the constant threat of violence from the NDC will not be countenanced. And we are letting them know that their efforts to visit mayhem, to to visit violence on the people of Ghana just because they think they want political power will be fiercely resisted. Will be resisted because we are in a business for the people. It is not about us. It's not about NDC. It's not about MPP. It's about the people of this country. It's about this country. And so Amadaba can scream to the high heavens. And you see what he's saying, almost sounding very prejudicial about the same person he's going to appeal to, that the fact that the IGP won't mix them determines that or tells him that he's not going to do anything. How can you make a statement like that? Is that responsible or irresponsible? You are appealing to an institution and you are concluding already. So why did you then go to serve that petition?
Because the only institution we
all
have.
they are doing, all the NDC is setting up to do is they want violence, and so now where you are going to seek peace, you are even doubting the place to set up in the minds of the people that you are not going to get justice. They did that when they went to the Supreme Court and told everybody that the Supreme Court has not been fair, castigated the Supreme Court. You know, remember, lawyer Dr. Aine will have to come and apologize, all because they want to create a false impression. And you know, they were doing that against the background that they had no evidence. They knew it, that they had lost the election, but see the scene they created in this country, appearing to be insulting of the Supreme Court, appearing to bastardize every acceptable rule in the book, but they knew they have lost. So you see the pretense of the NDC. You see the danger the NDC posed to our republic.
Richard.
And so these are the people we are referring to. They don't believe in the rule of law. They don't believe in democracy. They want power, and they want it anyhow it will come to them. And we are determined to let them know that you can only get power by going the way of the law, by going according to democracy. That is fair play. They should come and let's engage in that debate and stop all these shenanigans they are doing, scaring Ghanaians and creating the appearance of violence. We have the men to resist their violence. That is simple and straightforward. If they don't understand it, let's go. Let's have the investigators conclude, and let's see where the facts will be laid.
Richard, it does appear that the MPP is just interested in breaking the eighth. President says it, Vice President, everybody, Lord Comey, Bryan Acheampong, everybody is just interested in breaking the eighth. Is the government not worried about the present plight of the people?
Johnny, I heard you say that in your bite today, and I totally disagree with you.
I'm happy you watched Johnny's bite.
I totally disagree with you, and here's the reason why. The NDC I gave you in 2016 wanted to break the eight, except they didn't name it break the eight. But they wanted to win again. Is that not the case? They were determined. Even when they knew they had lost, they said they were in a comfortable lead. Was that not the case in this country?
They don't make inflammatory
political
statements.
Political parties exist to win political power. There's no hiding behind the fact. That is plain simple what political parties do. So if as a political party we want to win and continue to develop this country, what is the apology there to offer, Johnny? The key thing for us is that we are determined to fix the situation that exists in our country, and we are working on it. Look, Johnny, if we were any government, the difficulties that we confronted from when we came, if we were just mindful about our own political survival, if we were not mindful about the development of this country, look, the banking sector restructure would have just done what the NDC did, give liquidity support to enable the bad behavior that was creating the problem to fester. But we took a comprehensive approach to it. And at the time, the NDC even today continues to blame that what we did should not be what should have been done. Even today, as we speak, Kenya did the same thing the NDC did, giving liquidity support. The recent time, their governor for their central bank recently gave an indication that they won't continue that way because that is not solving the problem.
Okay.
So we are taking a comprehensive view. You know, in 2020, we suffered some of the effect of the comprehensive banking sector restructure that we did. But we did that because it is good for Ghana long term. We take difficult and hard decisions, not minding necessarily our political future. So when we are having this conversation that MPP want to break the eight, I tell you why. Because we don't want to build this economy, establish it, and leave it to the NDC and they'll vanquish it again. You saw when President Kufuor left office, This economy was booming, was on a growth trajectory.
But the National Peace Council has also been speaking and asking
to fix the economy and put it on a path of growth, and then not go seriously at election to win and continue. We want to win to continue to consolidate the development we have brought. So, plain and simple, we are not fixated on winning only, but we are fixated on doing the work that is necessary to be done. And once that work is done, we are sure and confident that Ghanaians will give us a third term.
Richard, the Peace Council, Council, I'll come to you. Richard, the Peace Council says that we do not need to set the nation on a war path. This is the Peace Council speaking. And clearly tells you that they disagree with what Mr. Acheampong said. What do you say to that in closing? And then I'll come to Amalba for his final words.
But you know that the Peace Council, if you listen to them well, I think I listened to them on your network this morning. They're saying that the response from Honorable Bryan Acheampong is to a statement that was made. They said that. So if you are representing them fully, they are saying they recognize that Bryan Acheampong's comment is in response to a statement. And Johnny, I don't really know why we are refusing to just stay clear on the matter. If somebody is speaking in conditional terms, subject to what somebody else has said, when we are reporting, we should report it as such. He says that if you, because of what you have said, that you are going to use violence, patapa, and Kosefem, to say, then we will show you that we have the men. He didn't say that I will show you that I have the men by visiting violence. No, he says that for your promise of violence, if that is what you are going to carry through with, I will show you that I have the men. I have not proactively offered future violence, but you offered it. But if you carry through with your threat, I will show you that I have the men. I don't know in what class this is confusing to anybody. It's clear, plain as daylight. So, Peace Council, their comments, yes, I agree. And you know, in our nature, we are not violent. We are not the ones to start violence, but we are just serving notice that far too long, the NDC think that it can threaten us with violence. And we're saying that if they carry on with that, we'll show them we have the men. Plain and simple. We are not offering violence. They are offering violence. And if they offer violence, we'll resist it.
There's violence in Boku. You should send your men there, shouldn't you?
I think, John, you are being mischievous in that analysis. It's a dangerous thing to do. What is happening in Boku is most unfortunate. It's concerning. People are working day and night to resolve that issue. I think that is such a very important issue not to play with the way you did this morning.
I'm not playing with it. I'm saying that Boku needs men.
I was cringing when I watched it.
Boku needs men.
People's lives are in the balance. You don't make political statements
it is not
things.
A political statement.
These things that are happening there,
I have relatives in Boku who can go to work.
These are our brothers and sisters who are caught in that balance. It's a delicate issue.
Richard,
Government is paying attention to it. Johnny,
Richard, I have relatives in Boku who cannot go to work.
Let's make sure
I know bankers who can go to work. I know immigration officers who have been killed.
Let's stop it.
If you have the men, take the men to Boku.
Before taking these things lightly to create a bigger problem.
I am not taking it lightly. I'm saying that
Boku, it appears very lightly when you were taking it, showing pictures of it. That is not a thing to joke with.
But
that's not a thing to joke
I'm not joking with Boku. I'm telling you that the people. Have you been to Boku recently? I've been to Boku.
Have you been to Boku recently?
And did you see the kind of mess we have in Boku? And if you have the men, you'll be sending them to Boku.
That is in a security realm and a national security issue. You don't joke with it the manner in which you were showing it this morning.
The man who spoke, Bryan Acheampong, has been a minister of our security before.
Johnny, on that matter. If you can roll back and stop it, you can say any other thing. But to take that real situation happening, where people's lives are caught in the balance, and to make a political statement out of that, to make it appear that, oh, go there and solve this, go there and solve that. Please, it's too sensitive a matter to make a political issue out of. I beg you, with all respect.
Would you tell Bryan Acheampong to roll back, like you're telling me?
No, you are creating what you are creating is dangerous.
What Bryan Acheampong said, there are people, Richard,
on your morning show,
Richard,
to be creating the appearance that nothing is being done. You know what you are trying to do? Potentially, you know what you're trying to do? You're trying to create a difficult security problem for this country.
Richard.
And I think that you should roll back quickly. And let's not even talk about this much further, because it's dangerous. It's a sensitive issue. You know, people who are working on this subject will not come on radio and talk about it. So the matter should not be a conversation to be politicized. What you have done today is to politicize the matter, which it shouldn't be.
I haven't politicized it.
Issues are not political issues. They're about life and death, and we shouldn't joke with it. With all respect.
There are political foot soldiers who will take whatever Bryan Acheampong said, hook, line, and sinker, and they will not listen to anybody. They won't think.
I'm talking about Bryan.
I am talking about Bryan, and I'm saying that, and I'm saying that, and I'm saying that Bryan Acheampong, Bryan Acheampong, having led our security before, he shouldn't have made that reckless comment.
Not to repeat it. Don't defend it.
I'm not defending it. I'm saying if you have the men,
it's better to stop it than to continue.
Take the men to Boku. That's where the men are needed. Men are needed in Boku.
Is what you're saying is irresponsible, Johnny. The earlier we stop talking about the better. I'll be honest with you.
Thank you, Richard. Council, you have the final thoughts. Share your thoughts with us.
Yes, he talks about statements made by Bryan Acheampong as conditional. That if does he know that the offense of conduct conducive to the breach of the peace deals with that, and that the peace must not necessarily be broken. So when you hear the wording is conduct conducive to the breach of the peace, the law is not waiting for the breach to happen before they take action. So that's education for him. You should go back to his MPP lawyers, they will tell him. Is it the same economy he's talking about, that they would always come and ensure that the economy is growing and the NDC comes and pulls everything down? This is an economy that has been downgraded. If only it's on the line. This is an economy that can no longer go to the international capital market to borrow. Is that what would be them? And yet, he has the audacity to tell the people of this country that the economy is booming under them. I leave the rest to the people of this country. But everybody knows that their forebears were the ones who were throwing bombs in this country.
Lawyer Abraham Amaliba, thank you very much for your time. Good morning. Thank you. And that was Lawyer Abraham Amaliba. He is the head of the legal directorate of the NDC. Also on the other line was Mr. Richard Acheampong. He's the director of communication of the NPP. Already seated is Daniel Nikwate Titus Glover. I call him Ata Daniel. Kashigbe. Natabule Mimpo Wabote. And lawyer Godwin Eduji Kujo Tamaklo is a member of the NDC's legal team. He's also a private legal practitioner. When we return from this break, we'll engage them on a salad of issues, but a bit of throwback for you. Listen.
Good morning and Happy New Year, Mr. President. Mr. President, there is this... You can't hear me. Can you hear me now? Okay, come and use this. It's all right.
You are a major stakeholder in nation building. Your voice matters. Start your day with us.
To simplify the conversations, break down the jargons and technicalities, we keep you well informed throughout the week. Start your day with us.
Knowledge is power. We put you in the know of the happenings in Ghana and the world over. The main reason why you need to start your day with us.
We give the leaders the mandate to govern our affairs. We have a responsibility to hold them to account. It begins here. Start your day with us. Good morning, Ghana, Africa, and the rest of the wonderful world. Welcome to Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
Start your day well informed. Start with us on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Catch the all-new Sunrise Morning Show with me, Johnny Hughes, Helen Acheampong, William Asiedu,
and Noble Crosbyan.
Weekdays from 5:55 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on 3FM 92.7. Your urban lifestyle radio.
You are a major stakeholder in nation building. Your voice matters. Start your day with us.
We simplify the conversations, break down the jargons and technicalities. We keep you well informed throughout the week. Start your day with us.
Knowledge is power. We put you in the know of the happenings in Ghana and the world over. The main reason why you need to start your day with us.
We give the leaders the mandate to govern our affairs. We have a responsibility to hold them to account. It begins here. Start your day with us. Good morning, Ghana, Africa, and the rest of the wonderful world. Welcome to Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
Start your day well informed. Start with us on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Catch the all-new Sunrise Morning Show with me, Johnny Hughes, Helen Acheampong, William Asiedu,
and Noble Crosbyan.
Weekdays from 5:55 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on 3FM 92.7. Your urban lifestyle radio.
You are a major stakeholder in nation building. Your voice matters. Start your day with us.
We simplify the conversations, break down the jargons and technicalities. We keep you well informed throughout the week. Start your day with us.
Knowledge is power. We put you in the know of the happenings in Ghana and the world over. The main reason why you need to start your day with us.
We give the leaders the mandate to govern our affairs. We have a responsibility to hold them to account. It begins here. Start your day with us. Good morning, Ghana, Africa, and the rest of the wonderful world. Welcome to Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
Start your day well informed. Start with us on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Catch the all-new Sunrise Morning Show with me, Johnny Hughes, Helen Acheampong, William Asiedu,
and Noble Crosbyan.
Weekdays from 5:55 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on 3FM 92.7. Your urban lifestyle radio.
You are a major stakeholder in nation building. Your voice matters. Start your day with us.
We simplify the conversations, break down the jargons and technicalities. We keep you well informed throughout the week. Start your day with us.
Knowledge is power. We put you in the know of the happenings in Ghana and the world over. The main reason why you need to start your day with us.
We give the leaders the mandate to govern our
2020, we're not going to try and see. MPP is taking this power as a matter of life and death. They said it already. They said all die, be die. And they are acting out and living the reality of the all die, be die. I'm sure that this evening when you turn on your televisions, you will see what happened at Ayawaso West. And so we are not going to joke in 2020. And I'm sounding a warning to the MPP. We're going to match them boot for boot. We respect the constitution of this country. And NDC is a democratic party. And that's why we abide by the rules of the constitution. But the same constitution says that Ghanaians should resist anybody who attempts to subvert the constitution. And when you go rampaging with forces and intimidating people when they should come out and vote, you are subverting Ghana's constitution, and we have a right to resist you. And so we'll get a full briefing of what happened, but I just want to sound a caution that NDC has revolutionary roots, and that when it comes to unleashing violence, nobody can beat us in unleashing violence. It is just that we midwife this country's democracy. And so we must be the first to respect the country's democracy. And that is why we are acting as a party that is very docile and respecting the rule of law. But if we believe that the government cannot protect our people, and we believe that the government is using its vigilante groups and illegal forces to intimidate and harass and injure our people, then we will have to advise ourselves. So we will go and get the briefing, and when we have gotten the full briefing, we will issue, I'm sure the party will issue an official statement. But I want to remind you, on February 23rd is when we're going to hold the election. And on that day, all of you will leave everything you are doing. We want every single one of you. It's 23rd February, it's a Saturday. So do everything of yours before that day. On that day, all of us will leave whatever we're doing, all NDC executives across the length and breadth of the country. And we will assemble here. The ballot box will be brought here. We'll be given the ballot papers, and then we will tampering the ballot paper for who we want. When you are giving the ballot paper, when we did the balloting, it looks like God has given me the number 3. Because when we're giving the ballot paper, when they did the balloting, the one who stood in for me and picked the ballot, he picked number 3 again. And so when you are giving the ballot paper, my picture and my name is number 3 from the top on the ballot paper. So on that day, when you're giving the ballot paper, just count 1, 2, 3. And then use your thumbprint and thumbprint it.
Delivering his victory speech, new national chairman of the NDC, Johnson Isiedun Ketia, assured party members and supporters that the newly elected executives are willing to sacrifice their lives for electoral victory in the 2024 general elections.
The 2024 elections is not only an election for the sake of the National Democratic Congress, but more importantly, it is an election to regain the independence of this country. And we are prepared to sacrifice everything, and I mean everything, including our lives, to make sure that this country is delivered.
He called on party members to unite to secure victory in the 2024 general elections.
We pledge on behalf of myself and on behalf of the newly elected executives that in the coming days, our first assignment will be to work to unite the party and bring everybody who could not be endorsed today on board, even as we march forward to defeat the elephant and set the nation on the path of progress and prosperity again.
Acheampong noted the friendship that exists between him and the defeated chairperson, Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo, will not be taken for granted. The last hurdle for the NDC is to elect a flag bearer to complete the reorganization process ahead of the 2024 general elections.
That was a wrap. So, Bryan Acheampong here, John Mahama there, and Acheampong Ketia. My guests are seated. Lawyer Godwin Eduji Tamaklo and also Daniel Ni Kwate Titus Glover. Gentlemen, welcome. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. Great, Johnny Hughes.
Great. Good to see you,
The
Ni.
British man.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
In flesh and blood.
Yes,
Daniel.
Thank you, and good to see you again.
Great.
I enjoy listening and watching you. Sometimes your fire is like Eduji's fire.
It's small, Papa.
But it's allowed.
No, we've taken over.
Yeah, but when you were younger, you were firing more than us. Now we are firing small.
Now Eduji has grown so much that sometimes his heat you can't withstand
but
it.
Ni used to fire more.
On Oman FM, boiling point.
Ni used to fire more.
Oh,
Did you get closer to your microphone for me?
Something small.
Titus, you used to fire heavy.
Oh,
heavy.
That was then.
And you know that boiling point program. It was in the evening,
right?
So you will see the whole place is quiet.
Yes.
Then he's intimidating, fire,
yes,
and brimstone,
and you can't sleep.
But
you'll be listening.
like I always say that life is quite an interesting thing. Today, Titus of all persons is so calm. I said, hey, how did this happen?
He has grandchildren now.
Oh.
He has to lead by example.
I love the style of Eduji. You see, sometimes when he's sending you the message, he has a way of positioning himself in his mouth. and the way he would drive home his message and the drama itself.
He will say it anyway.
It's interesting. Very, very interesting coming from live TV. And it's nice seeing all of you, including himself.
Thank you.
A very, very good guy. And we are building this country together.
Right, we are.
We are building this country together.
We're building it.
And coming from Tema to Accra, we have two routes, either through the coastal way or through the motorway. But eventually we'll get to your studio. NDC MPP, we are building this country together.
Sure.
Therefore, whatever we say, whatever we do, either positively or negatively, can affect this country.
That's right.
So, for me, I think that whoever has said what, we should all be guided. For me, there are some of our words that, for me, are not pleasant. But in a way of trying to justify, that is why the other will compel to also make referrals as to who said what.
Right.
Do you understand?
Right.
Let us stay away of some of these violence that we do. MPP, we are not violent. We are not violent. We have, since 1992, we have had the rough end of the NDC. From their revolutionary days and all that, we've had the brunt of the NDC at all times. But we have made it sure that democracy is the only route that will develop this country. And that is how it is. If the words of my brother and my friend was in reaction to earlier statement, the tapes, audios that we heard here, in as much as you want to condemn Bryan from the NDC perspective, we also condemn what my big brother JDM has also said.
I'm on record to have condemned those statements.
And you never heard Bryan saying that we are going to pick gun, we are going to pick machetes or clubs to be hitting NDC people. But it's on record. A young, vibrant, young youth organizer. You heard his audio. That look, politics is Christianity. You cannot win a free and fair election with an MPP. It means you must send them with violence. If you have a stick, you see, hit him. Compare these ones. And the fact that you are coming from a revolution, I saw the revolution. I was in middle school in 1979. I was 13 years. In 1981, I was entering secondary school. So I saw the revolution. I saw how women were killed. Women were whipped naked in front of a community center. Yeye boy, Water region. We saw how he was tied to the vehicle and pulled on the streets of Anglo. I'm not trying to remember the family of this great man. But a lot of things happen. So when you talk about your roots can be traced to the revolution, you are igniting and remembering people, the pain and atrocities that went on. People who vanished, and as of today, we can't even account for them. So when you talk like this, it's a concern. So I want to appeal. The Peace Council chairman has spoken. Yeah. Wealthy man, we need to listen to all what he has said. And let's speak among ourselves. And all these things that we say, well, we meet ourselves, we joke, we share jokes, we have fun among ourselves. So I don't want to spend this morning to drag too much. But let's try to cool down the heat.
But where the political party that Bryan and you belong to has actually issued a statement to say the response by the NPP or the reaction by the NDC lacks context. It raised, and you heard Richard Acheampong literally trying to say nothing untoward was said. And that fact,
when I entered, I'm sure you might have a long discussion with him. I heard a little bit of it where he was saying that it was a response.
That's right.
To what Isiedun Ketia and Big Brother JDM said.
Yes.
That was the angle that I got into. And we were trying to push him that if we are men, we should go to Boku.
Right.
And he also said that, hey, Boku is a very sensitive area. Right. So don't downplay that bit.
I'm not downplaying it, actually.
You know, so whatever it is, let us allow cool heads to prevail and focus on issues campaign that purely on bread and matter. And from the statement of Bryan, you can see that gradually the economy is trying to bounce back.
Absolutely.
And his prayer is that, just like the president and his government is saying that, look, if you're able to secure this bailout for the IMF, we'll be disciplined enough, we will conform and make sure that we're able to take up the pieces that we lost together. And that is why he's saying that, look, if we're able to bring the economy back to stream, I don't see why we should hand over to the NDC. And they are thinking that we are saying that should they touch wood, they win power, we're not going to hand over power to NDC. It has never happened. Even Jerry Rawlings, who was a revolutionary, when they lost power in 2000, he handed over to Kufuor.
Right.
Look at the slim margin and the determinant vote was in time. Less than 30,000 votes. So close. What happened? President Kufuor handed over to Professor Mills. When your mama was whipped mercilessly over 1 million votes, he had no choice. He handed over power. So when voters make their decision, we are not ready to return this country back. We are moving forward.
Okay.
So we'll do everything humanly, legally, materially possible. And the trump card of the NDC is the economic situation in which we find ourselves. And that should not make them encouraged. We are working hard to reverse it and to recover. And that will make us difficult to hand over politics, because that is the word we are going to stand on and let the people know, like, we have changed the situation. Therefore, give us the opportunity again.
Council.
I have always cherished the experience relative to communication that my senior brother Titus brings to the competition. As somebody who had followed him greatly, I know how he can be very forceful. He will say the right thing correctly. You may not like the truth or otherwise in what he's going to say.
He has a way to convince
but he will put his words out. And you see, the benefit my senior has always had is his ability to blend the Twi language. Sometimes you wonder whether he was born an Akan, because he does it so well. And like I said, I have followed him greatly on Oman FM, particularly on Boiling Points, and his public advocacy, let my vote count. I remember AFAG days and the rest. He'll be following, he'll be gingering and encouraging the violence from OPK and Samuel Oku in those days. He thinks I've forgotten.
OPK, Samuel Oku.
Yeah.
Dangerous
when they were doing AFAG, Alliance for Accountable Governance. I wonder what they are today. But you see, I know how confident when Titus speaks. And today, the economy has humbled him. This is not the Titus Global I grew up knowing when it comes to political communication. But
you say the economy has humbled him.
Yes.
But he's growing. He has grandchildren now. So
no, it's the humility. You see, the thing is that, like Dr. Bawumia said, when in doubt, observe the exchange rates. It will expose you. You see, he said, when in doubt, observe the exchange rate, because the numbers from that place doesn't lie. But you see, this morning, like I've always maintained, Johnny, I have no other place to go except this country. I have a wife, 3 lovely daughters.
Yeah.
How am I going to run with them? I can't. So anything that has the potential to foment the peace of this country, I get worried. And that is why I think that all well-meaning Ghanaians should condemn the unfortunate and reckless statement coming from Bryan Acheampong. Look, let me see, of all of us in this studio, this particular studio, if there's any one individual who has a huge investment in this country, it's Bryan Acheampong. Where I am, I've not built a rock city. Well, I do not know the finances of my senior titles. It may well be that he owns NPS.
He owns Salt City.
I don't know. By you, Johnny, I know.
I don't have.
Yes.
Yes.
That even Clay City, you don't.
Chalk City cry.
I don't know.
Me and William, we are together.
I don't.
Me and William.
You understand? We did the manage. Why they move? Hala, small. We they force the economy like that. Where will they move? So for us, we they count our blessing every day. You get it? Such a person, you should be worried what you say, no matter what. Where is this justification that it is what H. John Dramani Mahama has said? That's what we call an afterthought.
But the MPP says what you said lacks context.
Look. The comment from Bryan Acheampong is without provocation. There is no immediate comment or statement by anybody that you say, I am responding to that. Why? I've maintained, and let me put on record, that one of the things that has kept this 1992 Constitution standing is the fact of the peaceful transfer of power from one administration to the other. That conduct alone has given Ghanaians the edge that we can hold on for 4 years. Even if we don't like your rule, we can hold on for 4 years. And so, the mighty Jerry Rawlings, when Ghanaians decided that they wanted to move on, why? The things Yadema, Paul Kagame, Obien, Omar Bongo, and Co are doing, Jerry Rawlings could have done it. To extend this tenure. Why? In those countries that there's, look, Paul Kagame, how many years has he been in power? From 1999, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
He's still there. The power of the state can be used for anything. That's how come why you think there are no brave men in Rwanda. But you see, Ghanaians have come to accept the fact that after every 4 years, they will have the opportunity to decide on whether a particular administration to continue or not. So where from this bravado? Where from this talk? Like, look at the way Bryan was talking, like he's God.
But what do you find wrong with what he said?
You
that
see,
if...
No, please, I beg you. What Bryan is simply saying, which is so dangerous, is that whether or not they win or lose, it is one MPP to another MPP. And listen carefully.
But he's not the first to have said it.
No, so I'm coming. Not Lord Comey. Even the president himself.
That he would want to hand over to...
No, he didn't say he would want to. I beg you, don't romanticize. The last time I checked, you don't play the devil's advocate. He said he is, and let me tell you something deep. See, in 2008, when Mr. Akufo-Addo became the flag bearer of NPP, obviously, the NPP internal politics will show that President Kufuor supported Allen. And so the conversation then was, at all costs, NPP was going to then break the 8. But President Kufuor also was looking at his name. What legacy would I be leaving? Among other things. So at that time, Nana Addo wanted him to do all the nasty things. Look, when we're all going to, you remember time. You remember the event in time?
Yes. Round 3. 2000.
If titles will be, well, this public platform. If not, he will tell you the conversation between Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and President Kufuor when President Kufuor got to Wenchi. And why he never stepped in time. The exchanges. I listened to my friends in the NPP and so 2008 the vote difference was only 40,000. What 40,000? After all your machinations. Look, Kandapa was then the acting defense minister. You recall? They were using military jets to Kumasi to change figures. That was when Rojo and Co were angry in the EC strong room. Do you know what we have survived? Yes. Asokwa, Bantama and Co. They were changing figures there. President Kufuor said, no, I won't allow it. And that is why Akufo-Addo had never forgiven him to date. And so he thinks that, listen carefully, he thinks that he can install Bawumia and use what he wanted Kufuor to do then, that Kufuor refused, in order to get Bawumia.
This is hypothesis.
No hypothesis. I am telling you the mindset of Akufo-Addo. Look, let me tell you.
So you're not God.
Let me tell you something. It's not about being God. Let me tell you. Look at how Akufo-Addo is operating. His modus operandi will tell you the kind of person he is. Look, you, where you are now. Even in your most lucid state, when all is not well with you, would you appoint Acheampong to Electoral Commission? In your most lucid state, when all is not well with you, your mind a torture.
Dr. Kweku says it doesn't matter because he will have the director of elections at the Electoral Commission says it won't matter.
So
because
let me demonstrate
he cannot influence anything.
Let me demonstrate to you. As for Dr. Serebo Kwaku, for a common friend that we have who is elderly, I would have said something. But I'll leave it.
Don't say it.
Yes. No.
He didn't.
Do you know something?
He would have.
Let me tell you how someone like Acheampong and Co can change a lot of things. Classic example: Sir Lolobi, Akpafu, Likpe, Santro Kofi. The eve of the 2020 election, Bosman Asari, Jane Mensah, Serebo Kwaku,
Freeman
Tete, no, Samuel Tete.
Tete, yeah, director of elections before, now a commissioner.
Do you know what they did?
No.
They conspired.
How do you say that?
They conspired.
How?
To disenfranchise the people of SAR with an administrative fiat. Look, the 1992 Constitution says that when the Electoral Commission intends to do something that can affect the rights of people, it must do that through constitutional instruments. Do you know the reason for a constitutional instrument? So Parliament can have an oversight.
Right. Just like the Ghana
the various CIs that have come. That is why you notice that anytime the Electoral Commission is about to do anything, it does it through constitutional new register, CI. How elections will be conducted, CI. So we have had CI 91, CI 127, CI 126. It is to ensure that they take away arbitrariness, capricious conduct. in a very capricious, arbitrary manner. Jane Mensah, Bosman Asari, Serebo Kwaku, Samuel Tete conspired to disenfranchise the people of SAR, the cardinal sin since the 1992
But there are
constitution was
7 commissioners. Why do you single out the 4?
I mean them.
So the other 3 were not part.
Look, you see, we are joking with certain things that have happened in this since Akufo-Addo became president.
President Akufo-Addo.
Yes, and we need to be very careful. See, me, like I indicated earlier, a peaceful Ghana is all that we want. Imagine the situation where, on the eve of an election, a group of people have prepared that we are going to exercise our franchise to decide who the leaders of this country will be. Then some few people sat and took a decision. These people won't allow them to vote. These people won't allow them to vote. Administrative fiat. Have you sat down to analyze that? So imagine asking Apiahene, do you know what you do? Let me give a classic example. My senior brother here was the former MP for, what shall I say, Tema East. So maybe 2024, he had decided to go again. But he had checked the election results. He's done the data analysis. And he's realized that, the last election, he lost because maybe Temamanya, Newtown, these areas, about 4 zones didn't vote for him. So you know what the EC will do? EC will wait. Don't talk. The eve of the election, then they will issue administrative fiat. Tema, Newtown,
you are not voting.
You are not voting. Then the election is declared, Titus is winner.
Use the microphone.
Sorry, Titus is declared the winner. Reverse it and see how my brother will feel. Reverse it. Just reverse it. Because you see, in every constituency, you can tell where the 2 political parties, their strongholds are within a constituency.
That's right.
In the 2020 election, how did Amewu become an MP for Hohwe? Amewu won the election by a little over 4,000 votes. A little over 4,000 votes. Why? Because in the past, the greater Hohwe comprised Lolobi, Likpe, Santro Kofi, and Akpafu. The NDC parliamentary candidate, now get it, Professor Margaret Kwaku, is from Lolobi. Amewu's mother is from Blee and B-Town. Maybe you know Hohwe quite well. B-Town itself, that's Hohwe proper.
H2 city, 2H.
Good. So you know what the Electoral Commission did? Where the NDC parliamentary candidate is coming from, that's Lolobi. They were denied to vote for her.
But what has all of this got to do with Bryan Acheampong?
No, I am giving you an indication that the conduct of the president is fueled by some of these things. Right? I am dovetailing this whole conversation into the broader architecture that Akufo-Addo has his mind on. So that when the MPP say we'll break the 8, right? They are not telling you that Ghanaians will come out in their numbers. They are relying on surrogates, plants, such characters, okay, to use the apparatus of the state by way of gerrymandering to favor them. And that is why I am saying that we all need to be careful.
How careful can we be?
This is the only democracy that we have.
Are we not speaking up? We're speaking
No, this is the democracy that we have. The dismissive attitude of my friends should not be countenanced.
But Daniel has not dismissed it.
Know him.
He says, look, let's
know him.
Cool heads prevail.
See, when the young NDC youth organizer for Swami,
did you comment on it?
I'm coming. When the young communicator youth organizer made those comments, I was apprehensive. Before man and God, I said, You see, there's a line we don't cross in political communication. So even when you are hot, you maintain that line. Don't go beyond it.
You'll be in trouble.
you'll be in trouble.
Did you speak against what he said?
Look, I told him that comment.
You mentioned to him.
Yes.
No, that is not the.
No. I'm trying to let you know.
That is not it. It is not about you talking to a person quietly.
A public.
The way you are so bold enough condemning what Bryan Acheampong said, is that what he did publicly? Did you condemn it?
No.
You applauded him?
No, hold on. The man is already going through a criminal prosecution. Right? He's been prosecuted. In fact, the court even remanded him.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. That's punishment enough. For me, my liberty means a lot to me. Even if you can tell my liberty for even an hour, I'll have a problem with you without just cause. This one, for 2 weeks, this guy was caged. He was caged.
But the public pronouncements. Did you make the public pronouncement? That's what
I condemned him.
Where? Publicly?
Go and find out.
Publicly?
And you see, remember that he was also going through criminal prosecution. So you need to also be careful.
Sub judice.
Not only the issue of sub judice. It's like, a man who is down, you want to finish him completely. That's a different matter. Between that young man and Bryan Acheampong, who is greater responsibility placed on?
Counsel, I wanted to find out.
No, I'm coming on.
The immediacy of the harm that all of us are apprehending, is it not in question in respect to Bryan's pronouncement? I mean, we are always saying that what he did may bring some harm. Is it not too remote?
It's not. It's not. In fact, the most immediate public election in Ghana today is the next district assembly election November, September, October this year.
That's right.
The next is the presidential and parliamentary election. And listen, the 2024 election dynamics are different. Because by 2024, the NPP would have done 16 years. The NDC would have done 16 years. So it's a tie. It's like Accra House of Folk and Kotoko, a decider. It's no joke. So the dynamics of the 2024 election and its outcome is different. Please.
What should Bryan Acheampong be doing now? And I ask both gentlemen same question.
You see, I don't know Bryan personal. TV,
radio,
and the rest. You see, already Bryan, if you profile him, his entry into our politics, his association with violence. See, in 2008, when he tried becoming MP, using Suhun, his record with Opariansa in Suhun, a lot of people have forgotten. Go my jaw online. The story is there. It was violence.
It's also on 3news.com.
Good. At that time, I think Lord Kome was your national organizer or so. You understand? Lord Kome was the national organizer at that point.
So? You were.
Bottom line.
So?
You remember what he recently said? Yeah, so what is it that when your people hold mic, what comes into them?
They've drunk attire.
I think so.
Attire is in the zongo.
They've drunk attire. Mama said you drunk attire.
Sometimes I'm doing say you wins you.
They've drunk attire.
Yeah, but you see, the point I'm trying to make is that if you profile him, his record and association with violence, it's not good. Look at the Ayaso West report. That committee was not put together by John Mahama. In fact, the committee was put together by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, acting president, because at the time of the Ayaso West incident, Mr. Akufo-Addo had traveled. So it was led with Dr. Bawumia. It was at that time that he put the Emil Short Professor Henrietta Mensah Bonsu. And look at the personality. Patrick Bryan Acheampong.
Former IGP. Former Shraj boss.
And then now Supreme Court judge.
Supreme Court judge, yes.
Respected professor of law. Criminal law lecturer.
Yeah.
Yes. They put them together. Their committee findings of fact against Bryan Acheampong. If he felt those findings were inaccurate, he could have used the constitutional procedure to set aside the findings.
So what do you want Bryan to do now?
I want you to appreciate something. That his character profile and make, there's a certain association with violence. Okay. And so when such a person speaks, you don't take it lightly. But you see, what Bryan should understand is that, look, between the two of us, myself and Bryan, he's senior to me. He has a lot of investment in this country. Look, me, I am aware of many Kwewu businessmen who, through sweats, blood, and everything, have built giant industries. The Seekings of then and now. The Chums.
Atala.
The Atalas. Metallers. And many of them. Those Kwewu giants. Look at what they have done for themselves. Sunrise. So, a person like Bryan, representing the business community, representing a group of people who are associated with business. Why? When there is violence, who suffers most? And like I always say, it is difficult to build, but easier to destroy. Look at how difficult it is to put up a story. But with one dynamite, everything will come down. And so I am very cautious. Look, that's why in my political communication, I like the economic numbers too. Then I'll come, tell you this, do the analysis, this. These threats and what have you, what is it for? Mr. Bryan Acheampong, what is it for? Do the honorable thing. Say that, look, upon sober reflection, I think I went overboard. Ghanaians, I am sorry.
Okay.
You won't die.
That is Lover.
My senior will start the apology on his
What should Bryan be doing now?
You will start the apology on his
Council.
Johnny, I didn't know when my brother turned himself into an angel of God. and the spirit of old.
3FM
to speak in the head of President Akufo-Addo.
And know what is in the president's head.
In his head. And started conjecturing that this is the thinking of President Akufo-Addo. Where is this coming from?
I say his mindset.
Oh, cool down. So now you are a spirit, an angel of God. Now you can read into the head and the thinking
by
of
his conduct.
Oh. this your analysis there. It's not helpful. It is not helpful. The president is a Democrat. He believes in the rule of law. In fact, this has been the footprints of MPP, that we believe in the rule of law, the fundamental liberties of our people.
Not this Akufo-Addo led one.
Do you understand? So, we have not even conducted elections. And you have even given up throwing at the towel.
But why is the MPP so focused on the next election rather than solving the plight of the people?
We are a government.
So,
and we have a problem at hand. And we are resolving the problem on our way going.
But the people
the elections will definitely come.
The people don't appreciate.
The people would appreciate. Johnny, we are not running away from our responsibility. We have a challenge in our hands. In as much as we are dealing in the solving of the problems, we must also prepare for the next elections. Are we saying that we should put our hands in our laps and keep quiet and watch the NDC? To campaign and say all kinds of things like Edoji is saying here against us, but then you leave it off the hook.
Breaking the 8 didn't just start this year.
Breaking 2 years ago. That is what is killing them. That is a statement that they don't want to hear.
They are afraid.
So we'll make sure we drum it harder.
Finishing the 8.
I allow him to.
Is it
finishing the 8, not breaking the 8.
My brother, I'm quiet here. And you said all kinds of things, but I'm quiet.
Finishing
and that language they don't want to hear. But since that is disturbing your eardrum,
you will say it.
We'll hit there.
Finishing the 8.
We'll hit there. If you think the problem that we are facing is an opportunity for you to preach, look, the voting pattern of this country, we all have a strong votes. All our vote, we all know where it is. It is a 10%, 8-7% that we're going to struggle for, those floating ones. As for your potential votes, NDC, MPP, again, nobody will take it from us. But we are more than you.
It's for the 4 million, 4
Absolutely.
million.
So we are only struggling to get those floating votes. You are condemning Bryan. Why are you not condemning your mama?
What did he say?
Why are you not condemning your mama?
What did he say?
Because you were a young boy at the time, or maybe you were not born in the revolutionary days. So you didn't experience. But history will teach you. When you go into history archives, it will teach you there are even tapes of what happened in the revolution.
And that is why, we should be careful.
You don't believe that? So maybe my younger brother didn't see the experience of the revolution.
And that's why he's talking.
But history will teach him. There are audios, there are videos, things that happen. So when you want to remind people that you have revolutionary traits, so when it comes to unleashing violence, did Bryan talk about violence, unleashing violence?
Yes.
Is that a
see? Yeah, but we are not a camp people.
Right. No,
say end this. Yeah.
Me too, I'm half a can.
Okay.
Yes, half
say end this if you know your margin someday to through some any pasa yeah. And say ending seven kwasia sem.
One to seven.
On va se bien ça. I'm fine chez moi.
On a gagné.
On fine chez moi.
On a we say asama brother.
Say end this if you know any pasa say if conditioner.
Yeah.
C'est moi yo ma djuse mo di passer du troisième ning quoi ça ça.
Na wo se o di sebi be kan wo.
Sebi fa cheme mo fa cheme di mo fa cheme.
Bro wo di o ka sebi. O di o to go to ta flash.
And mo di to true moi.
No,
we have been in opposition before. And this must be responsible small. In opposition. But I don't see the heat in the opposition. We were able to sustain it. Small 8 years you are chopping there, you continue to chop, you can't stand the heat. And the moment you will tire. We're there. But what is this? Exchange of ideas? And you throw tantrums and threatening everybody? For me, that is not the best way we can go.
Okay.
So I believe that we'll continue to engage. We don't believe in violence. We've not come to power on violence. And I don't think that is what MPP wanted to do.
Right.
So Bryan responds to what they said in Ketia and what John Mama and the youth organizer and other NDC people, they would. What happened in Ejura during the shooting of the young man there? Threatening soldiers and police.
Macho Kaka, you mean? That matter still not.
That's the security, the soldiers and police, their office they are holding is contaminous to that of the President Akufo-Addo. You, Sami Jefi, me no Naije. Then you are threatening soldiers and police.
But Bryan has Ayawaso West War gun on his hands, so
you are threatening. What do you call it?
But Bryan has Ayawaso West War gun on his hands.
My senior is doing this, and I'm not happy.
Because you see, don't come in. Why are you like this? Why are you like this? Why are you like this?
I've asked him a question.
You see,
you allow me. He's my senior brother.
No, I don't allow you. You problem. Hold on.
You see,
hold on.
What kind of now?
When you had the opportunity, you were flowing.
But Omu say, I feel a boy. Now it's wakra. Yeah, then.
What did he do? He came back to apologize.
No, he's never.
He came back to apologize. He came back to apologize. He had come to apologize on that. Yeah. He has come to apologize. But going forward.
Bryan Acheampong has Ayawaso West War gun on his hands. And that's where the worry is coming from. That look, the man has demonstrated before what he can do. Allow,
don't do this to me.
Allow our big brother to speak. It's okay.
You see, he has the right. I don't know the time to take for him to appeal against the decision.
No, the time
has elapsed, so there's nothing he can do about it. But that is him, and I don't want my brother. The way he's trying to point hard negativity about Bryan, that he's associated with violence because of his parliamentary ambition, blah 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 blah. That is not Bryan. Yes, there was some give and take. There was some exchanges between him and Fredo Paranza, but that was not violence.
The story is there.
That was not violence. You know. So please, when you are making your statement, be very mindful. You know, the way you go about it. Or whatever it is, he had made a statement. He has referred. And we are saying that it is because of the way you continue to threaten us. You hold a stick and you are threatening a policeman or a soldier who holds a gun. It's not right. The continual issuance of threats that because you are revolutionaries, so you are guerrillas, you can do whatever you want to do. It is high time we put a stop to some of these pronouncements.
Okay. Thank you.
Be as it may, maybe the way he couched it is not good in the ears of the public, and that is why the public is speaking against it. He's listening, he's observing, and if it's the need for him to come back and withdraw and apologize, knowing Bryan, he will do the needful. But for me, let us not go that route.
Thank you.
All of us.
Daniel,
and focus on issues that we can bring
the bread and butter issue.
I don't have no problem.
Daniel
I don't behave like you're a saint.
Ata Daniel, the brand new chief servant at Valco. Lawyer Godwin Edwin Tamaklo, thank you. Yeah.
3FM Sunrise.
Yes, we have a responsibility to hold them to account. It begins here. Start your day with us. Good morning, Ghana, Africa, and the rest of the wonderful world. Welcome to Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
Start your day well informed. Start with us on Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. Catch the all-new Sunrise Morning Show with me, Johnny Hughes, Helen Acheampong, William Acheampong,
and Noble Crosbyan.
Weekdays from 5:55 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on 3FM 92.7. Your urban lifestyle radio.
You are a major stakeholder in nation building. Your voice matters. Start your day with us.
We simplify the conversations, break down the jargons and technicalities. We keep you well informed throughout the week. Start your day with us.
Knowledge is power. We put you in the know of the happenings in Ghana and the world over. The main reason why you need to start your day with us.
We give the leaders the mandate to govern our affairs. We have a responsibility to hold them to account. It begins here. Start your day with us. Good morning, Ghana, Africa, and the rest of the wonderful world. Welcome to Sunrise on 3FM 92.7.
Start your day well informed.
Sunrise on 3FM 92.7. I have some very talented kids in the building. We'll be getting into that conversation very shortly. But thank you for engaging with us on our social. We're on Facebook, Twitter. We're also on Instagram. Connect with us. We do this in tandem with you. You're an integral part of the show. Now, who wins season 14 of Talented Kids? Is it the MFC Dance Camp? Abigail, Rahman, Eloquence, Fatness Models. I'll find out if I've said that correctly. Or is it going to be Emily? It's the final showdown with the 6 finalists of Talented Kids. live from the conference center this Sunday, April 16 at 3 p.m. sharp. Now, the playground opens at 12 noon for everybody. How exciting is that? Tickets are selling for a cool 30 Ghana cedis. Right here at TV3, also 3FM premises. To purchase, do call this number 0554 049 778. One more time, it's 0554 049 778. We'll also be doing some giveaways. Are we doing the giveaways today? Some tickets for you to go and see the finale. 2 tickets to give away happening Sunday, April 16, just this coming Sunday, 3 p.m. at the conference center. As I mentioned, the playground will be opened from 12 noon for all. We're going to have performances from Dope Nation, Photocopy, and many more. Now, to vote for your favorite contestant, do dial *713 *13 hash. One more time, *713 *13 hash, or simply download the TV3 Reality app to vote. Talented kids, free to play.
3FM Sunrise.
Show me a jiggle, let me see, let me see, let me see.
Now I have 2 of the presenters, 2 out of 3, I believe, of the presenters of Talented Kids in the building. Let's say good morning and a very warm welcome to Jolene Isuman and also Aurelia Naami Kwote. Good morning, ladies. How are we?
We're doing great.
Fine.
Yes? Getting ready, very excited for Sunday.
Yes.
How long has the contest been going on for?
For 13 weeks.
For 13 weeks. And it all comes to a head on Sunday.
That's right.
All right. And is this your first season hosting? Talk to us about it.
This is actually my second season.
This is your second season. Aurelia, what season?
But this is my first season.
This is your first season. Yes. I've been told that Aurelia and I are twins. Mm-hmm. I can't see it. Jolene, can you see it?
No.
You can't see. Apparently the nose and the smile is the same.
I think it's the nose and the eyes, rather.
It's the nose and the eyes, rather. Aurelia said, yeah. You can see it if you're watching us. You can be the judge of that. I'm here with Aurelia. I'm struggling to pronounce it. It's very exotic. Where's the name from? Aurelia.
Yes. It means the golden one.
The golden one.
For my name is Orielia, but for the Aureila is the French way.
That's the French way.
Yes.
Yours is not the bonjour way. Yours is the Aurelia way. Yeah. Well, you say it's your first season hosting Talented Kids. How has that been? Tell me about it.
It has been great because weeks after weeks I've been learning new things from Jolene. She has done this before, so I'll not say stealing a little, but picking some stuff that she does. And the team, they are really, really doing great because they made me feel welcome for the first season. So I think it has been great and I can't wait for the finale.
Amazing stuff. Jolie, what about you? How has this season been like? And compare it to last season that you hosted.
Okay, so I'd say that this season has been absolutely captivating because for the very first time on Talented Kids, we've seen kids models wear 4-inch, 6-inch heels come and strut about the stage. We've seen the beautiful exhibition of rich Ghanaian culture from our poets. We've seen a DJ do his thing, on the turntable with his feet.
Really?
And we have a hearing impaired dancer who is actually part of our final 6. So this season has been very, very, very amazing.
That's incredible.
Yes.
And you'd agree that Ghanaian kids are supremely talented.
Very, very talented.
I'm sure you're always blown away by, what you see.
Yes.
And would you say week on week the contestants have been getting better, showing more of him? Yeah, really. You've been noticing that. Tell me about it.
Because some of the singers, like for the start, they were kind of nervous when they come on stage because you notice. But since the judges have been giving them comments and they work on it and you see improvements week by week. So yes.
Jolene, you agree with that as well?
Yes. I'll say about the rapper. You know, when he came at first, he used to use his index finger to block his nose when he's rapping. But then Acheampong was like, you don't do that. It blocks your air, the passageway. So it blocks the way he gives out his bars and everything. And he changed it, and he was doing very well. So I think they do learn from what the judges say.
That's exciting. And then you get to see them really bring their A game on Sunday. And as I mentioned, we'll open up the phone lines so that we can give away 2 tickets for the finale of Talented Kids happening on Sunday, April 16. It's the day after my birthday, actually. So maybe I'll treat myself to some Talented Kids, uplift my spirit, if you will. But we're giving away 2 tickets, and you can take your little ones to go and enjoy themselves. The playground will be open from 12 noon. A great way to spend the Sunday. But Aurelia, I'll come back to you. So your first season, have you been nervous? What was that like? Because I know you do something else with us. You do what's the
Kids
name?
Arena.
Kids Arena. So you're comfortable with it. It's a different ball game though, because with this one you're in front of a live audience, I believe. So tell me about that. How was the first show? Compare it to your latest one. Have you seen an improvement in yourself, and how do you combat the nerves? It's not easy. I know firsthand it's not easy.
Okay, so actually I was a contestant for Talented Kids season 11. So after that,
What was your talent?
I was singing.
Ah, lovely.
Yeah. So after that, I started with Bambini show at GTV, and TV3 got to know what I do. So, and I started with Kids Arena. So with Kids Arena, it's more like a kids show that engages kids on daily stuff. But from there, I got the opportunity to co-host with Jolene Isuman Mensah, and I must say, for the first week I was really, really nervous. It was a live show because it was a lunch, so I was really, really nervous, but along the line I caught up.
And it's like that sometimes. Whenever you start, you're a bit jittery, a bit nervous. Just give it 10 minutes and you find your groove. But it's not everybody that can do what you guys do, so I applaud you. Even for us adults, a live show, it's a lot of pressure. Everybody's looking straight into your face. You are tense, and Jolene, you're sometimes getting worse.
Too much.
Too much.
The live shows, bro, it's like, wow, you just want to explode.
Yeah, because when you make any mistake, it's showing, so
it's not edited. So the pressure is
it's getting worse.
It's getting worse. Hey, Aurelia, got your small mouth. You mentioned that you also sing. Aurelia, can you do something for us? A little something small. I'll give you a little beat. Jolene, do you also sing?
Yes, please.
Do we have a duet on our hands? Can we get a little something going?
So which song?
Come on.
Okay. Rango.
Which one is that one? Stone Boy.
Okay,
because you are Stone Girl.
Yeah.
All right. Do we need some background instru? What song do you want to do again?
I think we'll do a cappella.
A cappella. All right. Yes. All right. Let's go. Take us away.
Tell me where we gonna run go after making our motherland a better place to live. Tell me where we gonna run go when them say we have to pay for the oxygen we breathe. Answer me now, Mr. Big Man. You know if it's everybody want, then go round, go out for it. Simple life, it's all we want to live. Give me food, give me clothes, give me love, give me shelter.
Yeah. No for them sell out, born them sell out, feel selfishness, we see them sell out. Greedy life, sweetie life, and tell a lie. The truth that we always try to hide. Simple life, it's all we want to live. Give me food, give me clothes, give me love, give me shelter.
Come on.
Unu fear me please. This song your song where I sing from the deep. Now we know me, tell me I feel like to weep. When I'm putting up one where the people can't keep, can't sleep, your body burning, then you can't myself feel. You are the one to make life easy, so you will make it harder. After everybody march and there is nowhere to scatter. Tell me
where we gonna run go.
Come on.
After making our motherland a better place to live. Tell me where we gonna run go when them say we have to pay for the oxygen we breathe. Answer me now, Mr. Big Man. You know if you say everybody wants and go round, go out for it. Simple life,
It's all we want to live. Bravo, bravo. Applaud to say. That was incredible. Straight from Tongel, a.k.a. Aurelia and Jolene. Very beautiful voices. Will you be performing at the finale?
We'll see if we can do a little something.
A little something. I think that would be quite nice. Maybe do a duet of this.
Yeah.
Let the producers know that you two, you are there. Very talented indeed. Let me open up our phone lines. Very simple questions, and then you can get your hands on the tickets to see the Talented Kids finale. 0592 928 795. 0592 928 795. You can also reach us 0208 227 290. One more time, 0208 227 290. Do get in touch. I have some simple questions for you. You can get your hands on some juicy tickets. Let's see some Talented Kids wow the audience on Sunday. What are you promising is going to happen on Sunday? You've talked about the talent. You say it's been overwhelming talent.
Yeah.
But what else? I know there's some surprises there. The playground is open. Give us a feel, Jolene, of how the day is going to be.
Okay, so I'll say that viewers are in for a thrilling night because, frankly speaking, since the competition began, the contestants mount the stage every single week and give us a performance like it's the final showdown. So now you can only expect what they are going to bring on Sunday, which is the finale. So people should just come in their numbers and come support their loved ones.
Amazing stuff. I've got a caller on the line. I have Sam on line 2. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you for calling in. I take it you'd like to get your hands on a ticket for the finale.
Yes, please.
All right. My first question and only question to you. Can you name 2 of the hosts of Talented Kids?
I can find it difficult to hear you.
All right. Is this better? Hello.
Yeah.
All right. Can you name 2 of the hosts of Talented Kids? I would like their full names, please.
Ellen.
As in me?
Yes, please.
This is Talented Kids, so not Talented Adults. So. And
I think. Okay, then I'll try another time.
All right, no problem. Sam says he'll try another time. You two can attempt to win some tickets, but fear not, this week we'll keep the tickets open. If I don't get any ticket winners today, we'll keep it open and you can surely get your hands on these tickets. 0592 928 795. 0592 928 795 or call us on 0208 227 290. 0208 227 290. Hanging out with Jolene Isuman, Aurelia Naami Kwote. They are the presenters of Talented Kids. Were talking about the finale. These days, I don't know if you hear adults talking about how little space or room there is for young ones to really play and enjoy themselves. What do you two do for fun, to enjoy yourselves, to explore? Are you able to do so? Tell me about it, Aurelia.
Okay, so for me, I mostly find singing fun.
Okay.
So anything that is corresponding to entertainment, whether dancing, singing, I'm there.
Okay.
But most of the times, I also find reading interesting. So
you guys are not glued to your tablets, as we call it these days. No, Jolene, what about you?
So from my side, my dad is musical, like he has a musical background, and he plays a few instruments. So because I sing, he teaches me a few of the instruments whenever he has free time. So I play a little bit of piano and guitar when I'm free, and I also do a little bit of reading. I love thriller books. John Grisham is my man.
Oh, John Grisham. Jolene, how old are you?
I'm 15.
15?
Yes, please.
That's serious reading for a 15-year-old. So you enjoy the reading, you enjoy the singing,
and the instruments as well.
Interesting. All right. Well, the giveaway is going on up until Friday, so fear not. I know you're still adjusting. Zed, I'm the host. No, I'm not the host of Talented Kids. We have some very competent hosts, hostesses. They're in the building. So up until Friday, we'll be giving away some tickets. So do get in touch, and then let's get you those tickets. Let the young ones enjoy themselves. It's happening on Sunday, April 16. Playground opens at noon. The ladies have already told you it's about to be a bonanza. Amazing stuff. But it's been great having you in the studio, Aurelia and Jolene. We look forward to seeing you in action on Sunday.
Yes.
But in fact, on Friday, we should have some of our finalists in the studio. The six finalists. Okay. That is quite the treat. I'm looking forward to that. And we'll engage with them and see what they're looking forward to the most. So final words, ladies. Let's whet their appetites for Sunday. Aurelia.
Okay. So if you've watched Talented Kids, you know how mesmerizing performances the contestants bring every week. So just expect nothing but the best on the grand finale, which is this Sunday. And maybe you would get some performances from great artists. So just stick and stay.
Amazing stuff. Jolene.
Okay, so I'd say that Sunday is going to be a 2-hour exhilarating, unforgettable experience. It's going to be artistic. It's going to be fantastic with all the side attractions that we have. You don't want to miss it. Come one, come all, and come support your front runner win Talented Kids Season 14.
Amazing stuff. So eloquent, so confident, easy breathing.